This program is a presentation of UCTV for educational and non-commercial use only.
The Peace Corps is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, and no college system in the country has sent more of its graduates to volunteer than the University of California. And of the 10 UCs, Berkeley is at the top, as we hear now from Roxanne Makasdjian.
I'm currently a senior at UC Berkeley in my last semester, so I have to make it my best semester ever. And I'm studying philosophy, which I love very, very, very much.
When she's not doing her schoolwork, Mimi Saunders can be found interning at the Peace Corps office in Oakland. As soon as she graduates, she hopes to take the next step, serving as a volunteer overseas.
I feel like it's my duty, almost my moral obligation, to understand different cultures that are not my own.
The feeling of duty has always been the lifeblood of the Peace Corps, which marks its 50th anniversary in 2011.
I have today signed an executive order providing for the establishment of a Peace Corps.
John F. Kennedy launched the Peace Corps as one of his first major acts as president. Since then, nearly 200,000 Americans have joined the ranks, serving for 2 years in 139 different countries. Most applied while still in college, and UC Berkeley was no exception.
But we have no time to lose.
Kennedy's 1962 speech at Memorial Stadium inspired many to answer his call to service, helping give the university a singular distinction in Peace Corps history.
More than 3,400 graduates have volunteered in more than 120 countries, doing everything from teaching and farming to helping prevent AIDS and restoring the environment.
One of the earliest volunteers, Kathleen Vitale, a Berkeley art history major in 1962, was in the audience the day President Kennedy spoke.
I was more a traveler before that. After Kennedy challenged us, it was more, what could we do to make a better world? Not how many places could you see?
The Peace Corps assigned Kathleen and her husband Paul, a Berkeley graduate and city planner, to Ecuador. Kathleen taught art history. Paul trained people how to build their own housing. That led to 30 years of public service for the U.S. Agency for International Development. The Vitales raised 3 children, 2 of whom they adopted in Ecuador, and they've established a nonprofit film company called Endangered Threads, documenting the craft of Mayan weaving.
We learned a lot. We learned a language, we learned a history, we learned how other people view the United States, which was very eye-opening. Not everybody loves us.
Well, but some of the people do. We went back 10 years later with our children to the self-help housing project. And I got out of a car, and from a block down, I heard the scream, "Señora Catalina, you came back," in Spanish. And these little kids, no longer little kids, they were teenagers, they came running and surrounded us and dragged us into their homes to show us how they had improved and gone up 3 levels in their houses, and they had sewer lights, electricity, schools in the neighborhood, all the things that we had helped them try to figure out how to demand from their government.
That kind of political action had been something foreign to Peter Ross before he came to Berkeley from MIT in 1961.
I think at MIT I never even read a newspaper. My 2 years here at Berkeley got me very interested in the world and other places.
Ross was off to India in 1963, teaching math and science to high school students. He encouraged students to ask questions, established an after-school study center, and learned to improvise when filling in for absent teachers.
Not a single student could find where the capital New Delhi was. So I would make an impromptu geography lesson and make it fun and speaking in English. So I essentially never had free periods the whole rest of the year, which was fine.
The Peace Corps led Ross to get his PhD in math and science education and become a teacher. And it spurred a lifelong devotion to volunteer work. He's done 12 environmental service trips with the Sierra Club and volunteers every Saturday at a hospital guest house for families of children with cancer.
Everything is now brought together. There's going to be
The experience of attending UC Berkeley still seems to lead many students into international public service, like Christine Russell, a 2009 graduate in history who's now volunteering in the Dominican Republic. We reached her through the internet.
Berkeley is so diverse and all of the students are so educated in current events and interested in what's going on in the world. So I think just that atmosphere really shaped my college experience and the way that I ended up doing Peace Corps.
Russell helps local residents prevent cholera, create household budgets, and she also helps companies develop business plans. She says the work has got her thinking about international development as a career.
This is the first job I've ever had where every single day I get to help people have their dreams.
Sue Gershenson, Berkeley class of '68, recruits volunteers for the Peace Corps.
What strikes me about Cal students is that they have almost a lifetime of social engagement, both before even their university experience and certainly in terms of extracurricular activities and academically.
It wasn't until she was 53 years old, after a career in law, that Gershenson decided to join the Peace Corps. She worked in Nepal, and one of her jobs was helping a female-run law firm conduct a study on human trafficking. She says the intensive 3-month training and the 2-year commitment is not for everyone.
I say to people that Peace Corps isn't everybody's cup of yak milk, you know.
All of these Berkeley graduates seem to have a unique bond with the Peace Corps, a bond that endures time and bridges generations.
The Peace Corps doesn't seem like an old-fashioned thing to me at all. It seems like it's very current, forward, which is very exciting.
It's staggering to see the poverty that still exists. So there's a role for Peace Corps. Also, the role for Peace Corps is to get more Americans to appreciate their good luck, their fortune, and what a lot of people in the world suffer.
From UC Berkeley, this is Roxanne Makasdjian.